me something. Yeah.
Jen, you got everything involved. Yeah. High five. High five. Yeah. Good job.
Sunset could get you killed. If you were black, you had to be gone before the sun went down. They were called sundown towns. Signs stood at the edge of city limits, warning you. Some said it plainly. Don't let the sun set on you here. This wasn't hidden. It was enforced, normalized, understood by everyone. And when the sun dropped, everything changed. Black travelers caught after dark weren't just unwelcome. They were in danger. People were threatened, chased by mobs, beaten. Some were even killed, with no record. Police didn't protect them. Many looked the other way, or worse. Entire families were driven out. Homes abandoned, land taken, communities erased, not by chance, but by force. And that phrase many grew up hearing. Be home before the streetlights come on, for black families. That wasn't just discipline, it was survival. A warning passed down from the trauma of sundown towns. And here's the part most people still don't realize. This wasn't just the South, it was nationwide. Hundreds, even thousands of towns. Many erased the evidence. No records, no signs, just silence. So the question is, how many places still carry a history they never told you once the sun goes down? Let the sun set on you here. This wasn't hidden. It was enforced, normalized, understood by everyone. And when the sun dropped, everything changed. Black travelers caught after dark weren't just unwelcome. They were in danger. People were threatened, chased by mobs, beaten. Some were even killed, with no record. Police didn't protect them. Many looked the...
All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to start off by giving all praises and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to you elect men who are pushing for it in the spreading of this gospel in the way that it was written in the spirit, all right, intended to be passed and carried on, all right. And remember, we're teaching this thing and we're doing this thing whether these people hear or whether they forbear, okay. We're not, this is not to an audience, all right. This thing is meant to be taught to those who will hear or who will forbear to hear, all right. Because for the most part, you look at the average buffoonery video, and the average buffoonery video will catch about 40,000, 50,000 hits and likes and views, all right. That's for your average buffoonery video, okay? But a video of salvation, all right, a video expressing and revealing, of the Lord, whom the world ignorantly calls God, His Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, are revealing their intentions and plans here in the earth, okay, of the things that which you should want to know and want to be affiliated with, especially in these days and times. People are not viewing them. They're not viewed, all right. And if they are viewed, they're viewed for to gain monetary, they're gained for monetary value for people who are, people who are content creators and streamers for their, content. All right. There's a lot of these videos that are being used, that, the information that's coming out in these videos are being used for content for streamers and creators. All right. So, but anyway, hey, that's to their destruction. All right, as we saw with which the Sakari successfully did. All right, then the Genesis they have attempted and successfully are doing as well. Well, unfortunately for these people, all right, what's going on right now are these last few warnings, all right, that are coming out, all right, that you are about to get hit up with, all right. Everything is already set and in place for this thing to go, and how it's going to go down, all right. So as a prophet, okay, it is my job as a prophet to bring the truth, all right, the truth and the truth according to the scriptures, and to warn those people who are listening of what is about to occur. Okay, we are in the end of the world. All right, what you're seeing is the end of the world. There are a few more prophecies, such as the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, Revelation the 13th chapter. All right, you read that. Want to know more about what's coming, and then there's going to be a nuclear exchange. All right, if you could call it an exchange. All right, America and Israel, okay, will be, and America in the Bible, okay, is Babylon the Great, okay, and as you know, in the end time prophecies of Babylon the Great, it will be destroyed totally, okay, worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And when you try to find Sodom and Gomorrah, you can't find it anymore. So this place is going to be worse than that. Okay. The land of Israel. Okay. Modern day Israel. Okay. That landmass, okay, is going to be destroyed. All right. So, I'm about to go into this lesson. As I started off with what appeared to be some Edomite babies, Edomite children. All right, baby Esau's, and at a young age, already their minds are on, against you Jakes. All right, their minds are against you Jakes, and for those people who are hell bent on, the so-called white man, because when we talk about salvation, these people don't care about the Arabs. They don't care about the Africans getting salvation. They don't care about East Indians. They could care less about those people. But the people who especially our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we talk about inclusion or exclusion with salvation, when the white man is mentioned as excluded, people have a serious problem with that fact, okay? Because it is a fact that the so-called white man, all right, or Edomites, all right, will be excluded from salvation from the Heavenly Father, all right? Now, they will be around, okay? They will be around to serve as servants, all right? So, you can get the scripture on that. Something just came to mind. So I'm just building right now. And as you see, all right, sundown town. See, you have to understand. I was talking to my father, uh, you know, just the other day, and um, something happened with Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods was caught drinking and driving or whatever. Okay, and and I said, here it is. Now, Tiger Woods is supposed to be a icon, a superhero of golf. Okay, but do you think that those damn Edomite police who pulled him over, now they weren't just doing their job. Now it could have been any Edomite, all right, that was famous, you know, well, or in an entertainment industry. If it was an Edomite and they had pulled him over and he was, let's say he was drunk or whatever, if it was an Edomite officer, they would have let that offender go. Okay, but Esau doesn't care that it's Michael Jordan. They're always looking to put you Jakes in the ringer. And this is something that you do not and will not understand. Like, my grandfather, great grandfather, father, they all fought. They were all in service and fought for America, all right? And I watched a lot of military, and due to that fact, I was, into military reading, a little military stuff. I was never myself had any intention on going to the military. All right. But I would read stories about how in World War I, okay, and World War II, how you had, especially World War II, how in the South, they would bring, the captured a Nazi. If you ever watched the Tarantino movie, was it darn it, not Reservoir Dogs, darn it, it's when they're in the war. It's on the tip of my tongue. Not Reservoir Dogs. Well, anyway, it was a Tarantino movie where it's a good one too. I should watch it today if I get a chance. Where you had these Jewish soldiers, all right? They were recruited, and they were masquerading as Germans or whatever, and then the Germans they went to the American side. So I don't want to make that a long story, but long story short, Germans were killing Americans by the hundreds of thousands during World War II. All right, by the hundreds of thousands. Okay, and when those Germans were brought to America in the South, all right, whether they jumped through the American side, there was no hatred towards those Germans, all right, and those other foreign countries. There was no hatred towards them, all right. Even the Japanese, all right. There was not, they put the Japanese into internment camps or concentration camps, all right. But for the most part, there was no hatred for those people. Now now this should ring a bell in the mind of you Jakes, for you to have been taken during slavery, okay, captured and forced to work for free during slavery, okay, and brought to a country, and you haven't, you didn't, in recent history, okay, you haven't done anything to an Edomite, even up to this day, okay, up to this day, Jake have not massed up, in mass and done anything to, Edomites. Now, you've had some slave revolts, all right? Those people trying to get their freedom off of plantations. But the history of this white man, or so-called white man, but really red Edomite man, that he, that of hatred that he has for you will never change. It would never change. And I'm saying this as we move ahead and moving forward. A lot of you people are turning your head. You want to turn your head the other way. Okay? You want to turn your head and look away from this devil. And that would never and should never be the case at any time. All right? At any time. Okay? So I'm going to go into a scripture now. And this is just going to be a short lesson. Okay? And especially in these rough times that are coming, you will have to always remember that the white man is, listen, it could be, you could walk down a street. Listen, you can walk down the street. Trust me. You will see a lion on one side of the street, and on the other side, you will see an Edomite, so-called white man, on the other side of the street. Take your chances with the lion. Okay? Take your chances with the lion. Now, if you, we're warning you. These are the last warnings, all right? Whatever this devil has for you, okay? Listen, there is no compromising, okay? As times are moving forward, listen, this is what the scriptures are about. So, I got something. This is Ezekiel, right? 35. You can start from, I'll start from 1, all right? Because how much time is on there? 18. So, you should know the breakdowns, of this, but I'll somewhat break it down. I'm just going to go in five scriptures. All right. So this is Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, okay. So everybody's not getting this word. This word is coming to certain men, just like it came to Ezekiel. Okay. It wasn't nothing that somebody put in the book. All right. And said, trying to manipulate. No, man, this is what was given to Ezekiel, what he received through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Bahashem Rakakodas. Said, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Mount Seir is the so-called Edomite nation. Every last one of them. All right. All of the descendants of Esau, Edom. This is against him. All right. And them. All right. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord power. Because, of course, a man is not setting his face against a mountain, right? So this is talking about people. Okay. Verse 3. And say unto it, thus saith the Lord power. Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. All right. So at one point in time, the Edomites were desolate, as Job told us. All right. They were pushed out into Europe. Okay. But we're way past that point right here in Ezekiel. Okay. So this is, they were desolate then, but now they are about to be extremely desolate. Okay. They are going to be below human. Okay. I can't even call them human, but they're going to be below the standards of mankind, such as you so-called Negroes are today. You so-called Negroes, especially you Negroes. Now, the Northern Kingdom, they're able to kind of, just a little, okay, operate just a little bit better than you damn Southern Kingdom. All right. The Southern Kingdom is the lowest, have been the elder Apostle Rakah, he would say that women are dildo heads, right? But who's always trying to get with the black woman, man? The so-called black man, man. So if she's a dildo head, that makes you Jake's a dildo, man. And you don't want to be a damn dildo. It may sound cute, but that's the last thing you want to be, especially in these days and times with these women. These are not the 80s, 90s, 70s women's, man. All right. Those women may have had 5 bodies at the most, and they were considered terrible. These women have hundreds to thousands of people who have been inside of them raw. Okay, raw. Not only in their bodies, but in their minds. Okay? So reading on. This is the Most High talking to Edom, his descendants, all right, Esau. He says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. All right. So especially America, okay, is going to be destroyed. The UK, all of these Edomite strongholds where they are in the world today, holding onto a stronghold, will be destroyed. All right. Now they're at the United Nations, all right? But it's too little, too late, all right? Trying to bring up something for reparations, it's too little, too late, okay? There's a scripture that says he will not regard your gold or your jewels, all right? He's not going to want any of that, all right? And, ultimately that's talking about, these other nations. But the Lord is not going to want it either. All right. The Lord is not going to consider he's going to get it regardless. Verse 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Okay. What you're looking at in this cartoon and what you heard from those, infants was perpetual hatred. Okay? Perpetual hatred. It's in them to hate you so-called Negroes. All right? Hispanics and Native Americans. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right? And our iniquity at this point, all right, after slavery, that was it. That was it. But you continue. You continue even to this very moment. You motherfuckers is about to get it, man. You motherfuckers is about to get it. All right? That's why DJ Trump is cowering, bagging out, okay? Because at this point he he doesn't really understand, but they're getting a glimpse of what those men out there on those street corners were saying could actually be true. You're having more and more people, Edomites, Christians, they're running to the precepts, to the breakdowns that they're hearing that's coming out, starting from the elder apostle Tahar on down, the men who are teaching on the street corners. I mean, they're even all of our points. We are being watched thoroughly combed through. And some of you brothers, man, listen, we all have our job of what it is that we have to do in this ministry. All right. None of this is to be taken lightly. These Edomites are on your ass, man. The Lord, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash, okay, is on your ass to keep these damn devils up off you. Okay? These are the final warnings that are about to go out. All right? That's the purpose of, trying to do, videos all the time to stay in the spirit, because what's about to take place and how this devil is about to come is about to be barbaric. Look up barbaric. Look up the word barbaric. All right, I'm not about to do it. Look up the word barbaric. They are about to come with some drastic barbaric shit, man. At my job, they're trying to force us at my job. Now, I was forced and fired because I didn't take the jump shot. All right. Now they're coming back, forcing us to have to eventually take this RFID chip. And that's coming next. That's going to be the next video. We're being forced to take the RFID chip. All right. And this is in Chicago. All right. So, forced. And then it's going to spread everywhere. It's going to spread everywhere. And especially if you have a sort of government type of job. Okay. Now I was fired because I didn't take the jump shot. Now the system that's in place that's supposed to protect you, all right, which is called the EEOC, all right, the Equal Employment something, all right. I don't know what the O and the C means at this moment, but Opportunity Commission, all right, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, all right. They totally, now I was awarded, okay, they said I was discriminated against, and at that point I was, waiting to receive, which I knew I was discriminated against. And at that point I was, constantly on them for a letter to sue, which they said, they gave me the middle finger. Okay. They gave me the middle finger. In other words, all right. So, they are against you, Jakes. There is no, listen, you talking about your rights. You only have a right to remain silent. Don't get to thinking about no laws. Okay? When this shit goes down, keep your mouth shut and speak according to the scriptures. All right? And think, Lord willing, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai is in all of your thoughts at that time, to think and move according to the Spirit. All right? To the Rakah Kodash. So this devil, at no point in time in history, has lifted his foot off of your goddamn neck, man. All right? And this is going to be the response. All right? Ezekiel 35:6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood. Okay? And Esau, they call him white, but he really has translucent skin, and you can see his blood through his skin. And all he does is go to war to survive, for survival. That's his survival. So I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And these, Edomites, hey, even their own blood is going to pursue them, man. Okay? They are going to have, right now, you pretty much have inter-Edomite battles going on, man. All right? But it's going to get much far worse than this. Okay? To the point to where you're going to have ICBMs that are going to be launched. All right? Just like you got, just how you see the GDs and the Blackstones, go to war. Okay, you're going to see it's going to be Esau versus other Edomites. All right. I was thinking the other day, the U.S. may even be responsible for taking out Israel. Okay. That's how this snake operates, man. That's how this snake operates. You can't trust a snake. At no time did the elder apostle Rakah, told the story about how that snake was in the road. Okay. And and the man picked the snake up, because he didn't want to see the snake get ran over by a truck or something. And the snake was like, please help me, please help me. And then when he picked the snake up to move on the other side of the road, the snake bit him. And he said, why did you bite me, snake? I tried to help you. He said, yeah, but you knew I was a snake. That's what we do. All right? This is what Esau, the so-called white man, does. He is a snake. You're involved in his media. You're letting his media influence you. You're letting his education influence you, and you're being carried out into sea. You're going to drown. You're going to drown. Like a riptide. You're going to drown right along with this devil. You're being influenced by his music, by these entertainers that he's putting up, by this way of life that he's presented in front of you, another smoke screen. You're going to go down with this devil. Verse 7 says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate and cut off from it him that passes out and him that returneth. It's going to be it for you damn Edomites, man. You're going to be put under lock and key. All right? And I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. You're not going to come up again, Esau. You know, Nate said, Nate the snake said, oh yeah, after 1,000 years, Esau's going to rise up again. No, no, sir. No, sir. All right. No, sir. All right. It's not going to happen. So, Lord willing, you are edified. You keep your head on a swivel. All right. And this, hey, these are the final warnings that are coming out, that are going to come out in these final hours, final minutes, all right, of this place in existence, all right, as you know it. Okay. And when it happens, when this thing happens, man, okay, hey, you're going to have to be spiritually in shape. All right. So with that being said, till next time, Shalom.